So let's start working with regular expressions. Regular expressions are going to check, for example, if a pattern is presented in a string or anything in your code. So for example, if you have a HTML form and you want to validate that all the entries from the user are numbers, you can use a regular expression. If you want to check if the values submitted by the user is a valid email, you can use a regular expression. I'm going to show you the basics of regular expressions in these next videos. So first we're going to call this one regular expressions. And you can create regular expressions using two different syntax. We're going to create regular expression 1. And this is going to be to a new is going to be like this. It's going to be regular expression. Then you pass, for example, the regular expression. I'm going to add ABC, something really simple. Second way is going to be like this. And then you use ABC. So this is going to be a regular expression. Something really useful when you are working with regular expressions is the .test command that you can use in the console.log. So let me show you how this works. Let me add something like const, and I'm going to call this one year. Year is going to be equals year like this. It's going to be equals to 1992 like this. So for example, you can use console.log. And from here you can use the syntax, similar syntax to this one. So we're going to use slash. Then I'm going to add square brackets, and then at the end I'm going to add another slash. So this is going to be the beginning and the end of the regular expression. So right here I'm going to add numbers, all the numbers. And I remove the closing square bracket. Then we're going to use right here .test, and .test is going to check this regular expression that we have here if this, for example, this year contains pure numbers. So we're going to add year right here and save this, and you can see we have true because yes, in this year we have only numbers. If you add something like hello, is going to print false because there are no numbers right here. So basically this .test is going to evaluate this regular expression with this value right here. So for example, this one is going to check if all the numbers from here, if all this variable contains pure numbers. You can see that here I added 0 through 9. You can also remove this and add a dash in the middle. And the result is going to be the same. So basically this is going to tell if this number is if this variable contains any value from 0 through 9. So let's see, for example, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to comment this. So let's see, for example, if you have check if a date follows the pattern, something like this, 20-10- and the year. So we have day, dash, month, dash, and year. So for example, it's going to be like this. Const is going to be the date. Regular expression is going to be equals to this. And remember that the slash is going to be the beginning and the end of a regular expression. So then we're going to use the backslash. Then we're going to use the letter D. D is going to check for any number. Again, we're going to use backslash. So you can see basically this backslash D is going to check for the first number. So we need to create another one, and it's going to be like the same. So here we're checking that we have two digits right here. So it's going to be, for example, the 2 and the 0. Right after this, I'm going to add the dash in the middle. So you can see we have something like this. Then you can see that we're checking again for two numbers. So it's going to be the same as we have here. Backslash and D and backslash and D. And we're going to add another dash in the middle. Finally, you can see we have 4 more digits. So we need to add 4 times this. So I'm going to add backslash this, backslash D, backslash D, and backslash D. And it's going to finish with this slash or fourth slash. And it's going to be like this. So this is going to be the regular expression. And we're going to create a date. So for example, we're going to pass that value, 2080, and then we're going to console log. So first we're gonna use the date regular expression, then dot test, and then we're gonna pass this day. So save this, and you can see it says true, because this text that we have here is going to follow this regular expression. If you pass a day like this, for example 2080, and right here you add 20, it's going to fail because it's not following this pattern. So let me undo that, and I'm gonna comment this. We're gonna continue learning. For example, let's check for the time, and let's add that we have something like this, 12 hours or 24 hours in the clock. So we're gonna validate something like that, and it's going to be like 15 right here. Then we're gonna create the regular expression. We're gonna call this one time regular expression, and it's going to be like this. It's going to be equals to, and we're gonna create the two slashes. So this is going to be the beginning and the end of the regular expression. And if you remember, we use the backslash and D to check that we have numbers. So we're gonna use backslash and D 2 times. Then you can see we have the colon. So we're gonna add the colon right here. And then we need to add the backslash again 2 times. And this is going to check that we have the time like this. So let's create the time. Time is going to be equals to, for example, 10 and 10 with 15 minutes. And we're gonna console log. So we're gonna add the time regular expression dot test. And then we're gonna pass the time that we want to test. And you can see it says true. If you add something like 20, it's going to work because it's following the pattern. And if you add, for example, 10 a.m., it's going to fall under true because we're checking that this pattern is right here, and you can see it's right here. It's not going to check the rest of these. So if you remove the colon and you add something like this, it's going to fail because it doesn't follow the pattern. So let's add a more complex example using a syntax like this, the time and also AM or PM. So we're gonna add check for the time in 12 hours with AM or PM. So we're gonna create something really similar. We're gonna call this one time reg expression complete. So it's going to follow the following. We're gonna start the beginning and the end of this regular expression, and then we're gonna add 2 digits like this. Then we're gonna add the colon, 2 digits again, like this. And then we are going to read this pattern, AM or PM. You can see they are lowercase, so we're gonna use right after this backslash D, capital D. So let's create, we're gonna call this one let. We're gonna call this one complete time, and I'm gonna assign the value right here. So let's add, for example, 8 o'clock, well, 8 and 30 minutes PM, and then we're gonna console log the time regular expression complete. And we're gonna use dot test, and we're gonna pass this complete time. So I'm gonna scroll this so you can see this on the center. Save this, and you can see we have true, and because this is following the pattern. If you add something like 30 right here, is going to print error because this one is going to check that we have the digits using AM or PM. You can see that when we are checking for different numbers, we're using this backslash D and then backslash D. So let me show you a quick example. Let me comment this, and I'm gonna create a new one, const, and we're gonna add numbers reg expression, and it's going to be equals to, again, beginning and the end of the regular expression. So if you add something like this is going to check that we have 4 different numbers. So if you add const digits, and we add 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we console log this, and I'm gonna add, for example, the number regular expression, and this one right here, and then we use dot test, and we pass the digits, and you can see it's going to return true But you can see I added 4 different times the same code. You can remove all of these and you can add a plus sign right here. So plus sign is going to check that this digit is going to be repeated more than once. So if you change this, for example, into something like hello, this is going to cause an error because the D is going to check for numbers. So in the next video, we're going to continue learning about the regular expressions, and we're going to see a more advanced example.